The first time you launch one of these apps, it can take a little bit for everything to load, for it to phone home, but then after it loads, then they're all very snappy and responsive. So I've already launched ShapeScape. I'm going to click on that, and this is with the default settings. This just popped out. Everyone's going to be different. It's a generative app. If you hit the arrow keys, look over to the right side of the keyboard, you have the number pad. To the left of the number pad are the arrow keys down at the bottom. The left arrow key brings up the controls. The right arrow key generates a new image, a new image, a new image. The down arrow key actually goes backwards, so it steps back in time. But if you hit the right arrow key, it does not go forward in time. It generates something brand new you haven't seen before. Now, these are all pretty garish, and this is the default setting. This is actually kind of cool. I'm going to hit the up arrow in order to save that. Okay, you got it? Left arrow is the controls. Right arrow generates something new. That's kind of cool too. So I'm going to hit the up arrow. Down arrow walks back in time. Got it? Up arrow saves. So I'm going to bring up the controls. This is the default. And if you ever want to get back to the default, you click Load Default. I want you guys to explore. Here's all the shapes, all the blend modes. Here, the colors. What do you want for a background color? I kind of like to work with white often, so dragging that all the way over. And if you click on HSB mode, you actually get a different color picker. Okay, so we'll go back and just leave it at that. And then what color do you want your shapes? When you see the -1, that is the default. And that means it's random. If you select anything, you have made a color to start with. Then if I generate, you see that now we're working with different shades of that color. And that's because of the color lerp. I know, what a term. It's at 10, so that means you get some variation in the hues. If you come all the way out here and generate, you get different colors. Okay? Then I'm going to bring those controls back up. How many shapes do you want? More is not always better. Sometimes fewer. Sometimes lower opacity. How big do you want these? The width and height are random right here. Do you want them to be exactly the same? You can set that up. So you draw perfect squares. How big do you want them? Let's say you want a little more variety. Let me hit the right arrow just to see what we got here. And notice that as these are generated, these are kind of confined by the boundaries of the computer screen. This is the last thing I'm going to tell you. That's the border size. And if you increase the border size, don't go crazy with it, and then hit the right arrow, you see that now things begin to fall off the edge and look a little more natural. Okay? Have fun playing with your settings. Okay? You might notice, hey, save preset. What's this number? There's so much stuff going on here. Have some fun, and after you generate images, I'll get into that in the next video.